After the mixture was prepared, Su-bai followed the man out. They each took a watering bottle and sprinkled the mixture into the test field. A short while after the water was sprayed, the state of the blood origin fruit tree had an obvious improvement. Hulan checked again and nodded continuously. It's really been solved. This is an amazing method. It saved my 5 million yuan experimental field. Su-bai. It turned out that this experimental field actually cost 5 million yuan. Wow, rich people really played with this kind of stuff. Thinking of his master's large experimental fields, he understood the wealth his master possessed. He vigorously shook his head, trying to get rid of the thought before his mind collapsed. Thank you so much. You're a real friend. Hulan patted his chest and spoke firmly. Do you need anything that I may be able to help you with? Haha. There's no need to be so polite. Su-bai scratched his head and smiled. He felt that this man was talking in a hurry, but upon seeing his ardent eyes, he said, "Oh, do you know some good breeding houses? I want to get another pet." A pet? What kind do you want? Asked the socially awkward man, feeling curious. This time, I want to cultivate a fierce pet similar to a mage, domineering, mighty, and confrontational. Based on Su-bai's initial selection of the Queen of Thorns' crystal nucleus, it was obvious that he was not obsessed with whether his pets were cute or not. "Oh, wait for me. I'll get something," said Hulan before turning around and rushing inside his laboratory. "Okay." The youth did not know what the man was bringing. "Student, you're very unique. These days, everyone chooses based on a pet's appearance, but you don't care about that." Hu Jie was surprised. "No, I believe that all pet tamers who want to become stronger are like me. What does looks have to do with strength?" Su-bai spoke solemnly. When Hulan returned, his big ray was using its spiritual power to carry a transparent box with a half-meter-tall giant egg inside. Its whole body was dark red, like a stone egg of flowing magma. Red cracks of varying thickness looked like lava rivers flowing on its surface, and the black rock-like parts resembled pieces of old bones as they exuded an undead aura. "How about this? It's the egg of a monarch monster that's about to break through to the emperor level, the purgatory tyrant. It has 3 elements, undead, fire, and earth. It's very strong in all aspects, except that it can't fly. It also has another shortcoming, which is that the egg may fail to hatch. The reason is the eggs of a purgatory tyrant need to confide the power source when they hatch. For such an egg, the current hatching success rate of humans is only 30%. This egg was given to me by a big boss in the Spirit Alliance, and I've published it in a previous research patent before. It's just that I don't have any interest in this, so it has just been lying around here. I think it's time to give it to someone else." Hulan eagerly finished his rather lengthy speech. Su-bai's eyes lit up and shone brightly when he saw the egg. It was too beautiful and ticked all the right boxes. However, the youth could not accept such a generous gift, so he shook his head reluctantly. "I can't accept such an expensive gift for nothing. Can you sell it to me?" He could not take it for nothing, but he did not want to give up on it, either. This guy looked too domineering, and he was afraid no other shop would sell it. "It's okay, if you like it, I'll give it to you. If you feel uncomfortable, then you can bring me some rare spiritual plants or monsters to study." The man smiled. He was keen on research which had nothing to do with fighting, so this purgatory tyrant egg was of no interest to him. He originally intended to sell it, but since he did not lack money and a big boss had given it to him, he kept it. "No problem. Still, you should give me a price even if I owe you." Su-bai shook his head and insisted on this. "How about I price this at 1 million yuan? I have to participate in a trainer exchange meeting at the end of July, but I don't know how to communicate with others. Can you help me?" With his social phobia, Hulan usually asked his sister to help with that kind of thing. However, after taking the trainer certificate, Hu Jie had no time during the summer vacation, so he could only ask this boy for help. Furthermore, his sister's qualification as a trainer was too poor to keep up with his rhythm. This youth was different as he could definitely keep up with him. "No problem." Su-bai agreed excitedly. He took out his pen and wrote an IOU. Although he suddenly owed someone 1 million yuan, he was still extremely happy. This purgatory tyrant pet egg alone could be worth at least 3 million. Let alone other things, this was a huge favor, and 1 million yuan was considered a small amount. Haha. With you around, I won't have to be looked down upon anymore. When you leave, I'll bring Big Ray to send you. His English teacher smiled. Thank you. He thanked this pair of siblings again before handing the IOU to Hulan and heading back to the training ground. After walking for a while, he realized that he was missing something. He turned around and saw the cub trailing after him from afar with its head drooping. It was walking feebly, and its whole body exuded sadness. Subai rubbed his forehead in realization. He had been so overjoyed by the pet egg that he had failed to notice how the cub was feeling. Buddy, don't be sad. I just found a partner for you. My love for you won't change, and it has no other meaning. He knelt before the cub, wanting to pick it up. Howl. The cub lowered its head and avoided him, its face full of sadness. Was it disobedient and bad? Why did Bai want to look for a second pet? Was it because it was too weak? Purple Jade suddenly felt that the whole world was gloomy, with the person it cared for the most seemingly having abandoned it. It stared at the ground, sadness reflected on its big, purple eyes. Buddy, I'll explain it to you again. Don't you want to hear why I chose the second pet? Subai looked at the cub walking further away and asked solemnly. Howl. Carrot. After a few more steps, the cub stopped. It wanted to hear his explanation, after all. I like you very much, I love you. Even though you throw a temper all the time, I still like you very much. I've never hated you. The reason why I bought a new pet egg is that there are all kinds of dangers and difficulties in this world. If there were only the two of us, it'd be extremely difficult as we would likely meet some mountains impossible to cross. We're too weak by ourselves, so I need an additional partner. You do, too. It'll be a partner that'll live in harmony with you and climb to the peak together. It'll be an indispensable help on our way forward. Do you understand now, buddy? I'll never lose my affection for you because of it. In my eyes, each of you is my closest partner, and that'll never change even if your abilities weaken. He solemnly explained himself to his pet. The road ahead was fraught with obstacles, and he needed more partners to get through all of them. Howl. The cub turned its head and realized that it might have misunderstood its owner. Of course, it's true, and you're the firstborn, so even with a new pet, you'll always be the eldest. What do you have to be sad about? What you should do is work hard to become stronger and lead the others by example. You must have the great demeanor of an eldest sister. He picked up Purple Jade thereafter. Howl. Really? The cub tilted its head thoughtfully. It seemed to be the case. Howl. It suddenly jumped up happily. It was the eldest sister and would have many younger siblings in the future.